Hi guys, once again this is Alfred from BinaryOptionsTutor.com, here today to talk about the best times to trade binary options. Also, this is probably the best time to look at trading uh, spot forex, or even if you're trading the box spreads over on the Nadex platform. So we're just gonna jump right in and try and get time on our side, just like the famous group the Rolling Stones was able to. So we've got our world financial markets clock up here. We've got time move back as I get to play Hiro Nakamura, and we are at what we will define as the worst time to trade binary options. Well, if you're going to know the best time, in our opinion, then you probably, it might be interesting to just know the worst time as well, because you're going to have a better chance of profiting when you can avoid when you probably have the least chance of profiting. There's a problem, well, I won't say a problem, but there's certainly a challenge to offshore binary options trading, and that is when the market is not very volatile, slow market, and the variable spread on the brokers, especially for short-term trades, can throw you out the money uh, rather easily and rather consistently. You want to avoid these slow market, low volatility areas. Uh, and right here on our clock, we've got 14 major markets, and at this particular point in time, we can see there's only one market open, and that's Wellington, and that would be Wellington, New Zealand. And during this time, when the U.S. markets have closed and we're moving along, and we're just in Wellington, New Zealand is the only major market that will be open during the weekdays. That's that's a low volume uh, time frame, and it's likely going to produce very little volatility. We're going to pop up a chart now in just a sec, and we're going to see if our hypothesis reigns true on that chart. Let's also look at some of the best times just using what we know by looking at all of the world financial markets. We've got this Asian session area here. We've got this session, London session area here, and we've also got where our neck of the woods, the New York session right here. And you can see all of these markets here simultaneously open and available during the New York session, as well as a very good bit of markets open and available still trading during the London session. So these are going to be some uh, very important and likely high volume. I won't say very important. I don't want to put anyone off. I know we've got viewers all around the world. Certainly, the Asian viewers, you guys are very important as well. But we'll just say, statistically, there's going to be a larger volume of trading during this London session and this New York session. That's what theory we're working off of to ascertain the best times to trade binary options. Probably the best times for forex as well. Now, let's pop up a chart and let's look at some things. Okay, this is a pretty clean chart. Don't have anything here but some support and resistance lines. And I've got the volume, which is just, this is just the tick volume that's also inside of every MT4 platform. We haven't modified this volume in any way. What we're seeing here is the dollar yen. So this is a US dollar uh, denoted currency. It's a major currency, and it's a 5-minute chart. Now, let me touch on something really quick. There's a big debate about whether or not there's any value whatsoever to the volume indicator that's inside of the MT4 platform. My brother and I are of the opinion that because this indicator reflects the actual behavior of the underlying market, at least on that broker, that there's value in this indicator in the tick volume. Now I'll admit I really like, if I'm going to use this volume in this particular indicator, I like to be on a higher time frame. Let's talk an hour, 4 hours, 1 day, etc. But right now we're looking at it on the 5 minute, and we just want to confirm some things that we got from looking at our world financial markets clock. Okay, and we've just started the day on April 9th, and now we're into an area, uh, the London session. You can see a lot of dynamic trading going up, touching this line here of resistance. I popped these lines on here, and um, this is just another way to draw support and resistance lines. If you're aware that a large volume of world financial markets are open during this time frame, uh, and if you see a point of support and a point of resistance there, in my opinion, that's a great place to start drawing some support and resistance lines, because in a majority of cases and scenarios, these lines are going to be pretty strong, and these lines are going to uh, be repetitious. You're going to see them certainly repetitious throughout the day, sometimes into the next day. That's why I chose to draw these lines. This is a support line. See all that wonderful dynamic trading to the downside. We stop, begin that consolidating pattern, and bounce off of that. So it's a good place for support. Just like in the earlier support and resistance videos, I'm looking for lines either around the hour, around, sorry, not the hour in this case, around whatever interval I'm looking at. And hopefully these lines are preceded. In this case, this is like really great textbook, because this line is preceded by a lot of dynamic trading. Same with this line here of resistance, preceded by a lot of aggressive dynamic trading. What this means is, suppose there's news and the news is coming out during the London session. That news is going to impact the market. That news is going to push the market a lot, and there are going to be a lot of people involved in trading at that time. So if you can catch, where does even this impactful news stop the market? On the top and on the bottom, you've probably got yourself some good lines in place there. Now, here we go along. You see that wick, and again, what's it reacting to? Just that same area that we set off in that hot area that we saw using our world financial markets clock, because we have a known variable here, and that's how many major markets are actually open and overlapping. We see a lot of, well, we see some tick volume going on here, and again here, that stop on the downside is we hit that support line we drew earlier on the day, and again it's based on that that hot spot that we found with the world financial markets clock. Okay, now this vertical line here denotes when we started the New York session, and you can see we finally broke that line, and you can see some dynamic trading to the downside. New York, enough of a volume of traders on to push the market whichever way the allegedly smart money would have it push, and we see the market stop here at this blue line I've drawn for our new support line. And again, just to look at a little rehash of the support and resistance videos that we done earlier. If this is our new support, then this would be our new resistance, is that line has been broken. Okay, and we're just going along. I want to point out something again. Why did I draw the line again? Dynamic trading to the downside preceded this line, and I'm aware that a majority of traders are trading during this time because I've looked at my World Financial Markets clock. I can look at my tick volume here. I can see a lot of volume right here. I see a little spike here, a nice little green spike. I don't like reading tick volume at this 5-minute interval. That's honest. What's mostly would affect my hypothesis is all of the price action right here on this chart, but a little confirmation would be a nice spike. This nice little spike here in tick volume on our basic volume indicator inside of MT4, and we see the market moving back up. We see us crossing our point of that point. It would have been resistance from the London session. Then we get a little consolidation, and all of a sudden, probably news, in 5 minutes we see this entire market just tumble to the ground. And where does it stop? Right here, back around that area that we had marked out earlier in the session. Okay, now we're finna get into our no man's land. What we depict is one of the worst times to be trading binary options, and I've marked it off with this little blue rectangle, and you can see here during these couple hours we're probably doing about 12 pips. Okay, top to bottom, 12 pips this entire 2 hours. You don't want to be trying to trade binary options when there's the least amount of volatility, especially on Nadex, especially offshore as well. Now, let's also look down here. This is why I put the volume indicator on, because you can also see tick volume itself. No, maybe it's not the volume available looking at things on the forex futures, but nonetheless it does reflect the behavior of the market. Tick volume is falling off, and we just got really light volume during this little interval of time. So that got us through that day, and now we're going to come into another day. This would be April the 10th. We see a little action here diving below that previous US session, coming back. This is the start of this day's London session, and we just happened again to, if we've brought that previous US session here, then that's now our point of resistance. And you can see over here start of the London session, and that market just repelling, dollar yen just repelling off of that number. Again, impulsive trading. All I'm doing is waiting till let me touch on something. If you're finna stand out in front of a 2.5 ton vehicle, would you rather that vehicle come to a stop and then stand in front of it, or would you rather the vehicle still be moving? That's one way to look at it. We know that the market is there are a lot of intersecting financial markets during this time frame right here, and there's that vehicle top speed. If you'd rather race with someone, probably after you're already through with a prior race, there's a good chance you might have a shot at beating them You know, regardless. I mean, if they're willing to put some money on the table and say, okay, I know I'm just finished with the Olympics or whatever, but I think I'd still take you. That's a great time to take them up on the offer. You know, you still may lose. That's true, but it's probably a better time. And we're just trying to get probability on our side. That's all we're doing. Just looking at the markets existentially, because they're all everything we're seeing is the actions and behavior of human beings. Now, we've set ourselves up a new support line here, and we've explained why with our World Financial Markets clock over here. It's right here. This is that hot spot area. We saw that big move, and we see all of these markets. All of these people are open and trading simultaneously. So if the market stops there, that's going to let us derive that hypothesis that these are some good areas of support or resistance. Market stops in this area, that's going to let us derive that same hypothesis. That's all we're trading around. No indicators really, even just if you're trying to do like the stones and trying to get time on your side. And this is a known variable. These markets are going to open and close around the same time every day. For those who are PA traders, for those who love, or as for those who hate indicators, this may be, maybe this is something for you. Very simple, basic hypothesis that you can put together with some known variables of when the market's going to open and when the market's going to close. And we see that resistance line being rejected there. That's just US session previous day. We see that line being broken here, and we move up, but again, that's the high from a London session on the previous day, and then we see that rejection. Not aggressive, but we do see some rejection. Now we're into another US session. That's what this vertical line here is denoting. We see that volume, high volume picking up, and that volume along with the dynamic trading we're seeing down to the downside. When is it over? What pattern are we seeing here where there's a little green candle, we continue down, there's a little green candle, we continue down, there's a little green candle, but we're still continuing down. What marks off that we're stopping here? If we were just doing just counting candles, doing candle math, we've got this spike here with this wick. Maybe we're getting close. We've got a little more going down. Still got some nice volume here, and a very nice spread for the VSA guys right there. But I like to count candles. I don't talk a lot about candle math yet, but when I very first started, that was a lot of what I was doing with my patterns. And we've got two ascending green candles here, and that's the first time we've seen that in all of this start of this US session, and that's something else we can look at and consider, and just put our little support line here. And so now we've marked off our line for this US session, and now we're back off into no man's land. Is anything significant? Are there going to be any lines? Are these guys going to break any significant lines that have been drawn during the major sessions, during when all of these major world financial markets are trading together? There's a high probability they won't. And even today, because there's only, once again, there's only Wellington. This would be the only market open during that little time frame there. So top to bottom, Again, I've drawn this little blue rectangle. Probably done about 15 pips. Can you see some impulsive trading? Dynamic trading to the downside right there. Yeah, dynamic trading, impulsive trading. Well, pretty impulsive. Not a lot of not a lot of red in this move up. Yeah, but it doesn't matter from the top of this box to the bottom of this box. You're not gonna get anything but let's call it about 15, 16 pips. Probably 12 you took out the spread, and that's it. 2 hours if you're perfect, and there is no perfection. Now, we're all human beings. There's not much of a probability of any of us being perfect. So it's just not a high volume or high volatility. I'm sorry, area, and it's confirmed again. We're just looking at our tick volume here. Not a lot of not a lot of volume in that area. It's like, as you can see, it's like we just start falling off a cliff as far as where tick volume is concerned. So you see, even the tick volume does mirror the behavior of the market, the underlying market. Now we're on to the 11th, and we can see our US session hold. That line we drew during the New York session, that line's holding. Um, there goes the previous line we drew for the New York session, and we broke it, not with authority. Come back down. Here's the US, the start again. I'm sorry, not the US, the start of our London session. Excuse me, our trend continues, and this is a line that we drew prior from that prior London session. We're breaking that line now. Um, we were really probably out of the hot area, so I never put another line on here. I just kept the line from the prior day, and yes, we broke that line. You're not going to. We're not trying to draw perfect lines. We're trying to get into a range where we'll expose the least to risk, and we'll have a very good, high probable trade. We're not endeavoring to make perfect trades. Uh, you can see some reaction to that same line. We got right back up, got back above that line. Now this is the start of, this would be April the 11th. This is our start of our US session, and again we just bounce off of that prior line very aggressively to the upside, and we remain in that trend throughout the remainder of today. This would be Friday, so we wouldn't have any more no man's land. Wellington is not opening. This is the weekend, and the trading would be over. So you see, we've used time, and we've used our little clock over here. We provide this clock free to come up with some powerful deductive reasoning to trade around, and to draw our support and resistance lines around, to find out when are we most likely to see more volatility, and therefore probably find the best time to trade binary options, spot, box spreads over at Nadex, etc. That's all I really had to share today. If you found any of this information helpful, please like, share, comment, subscribe. If we've helped you, please help us by sharing the content and participating in this discussion. I'd like to thank you guys for all your time. See you guys on the next video. I'll drop links to this clock in the description, as always. And again, there's nothing else used in this video except for volume, and that volume indicator is built into your MT4 platform. Thanks a lot. Wishing you guys a lot of fun and profits trading. See you guys on the next video.